Good morning, Phenomenals. It's Wendy Jacobs here. And I'm feeling sort of deep this morning, actually. I've been quite reflective on something that I want to share with you. And more than share with you, I actually do want your feedback. I want to know what your thoughts are on what it is that I'm going to talk about today. So, what I want to talk about today is the words, I love you. I want to talk about that because you've heard me talk about how words give meaning to our experience, and the meaning that we attribute to our experience gives us emotion. And so if we have become a society, a world, or maybe just an individual that is so disconnected from love, could it possibly be that it's as simple as learning to say, I love you? My favorite words, honestly, I love you. They're words that I speak every single day. And if you're one of my close friends, you know that I bless you with these words every time we chat. If you're one of my kids, you know that you're adorned with this. And it's because it's how I like to feel, right? So the reason I bring this up this morning is because I'm in a new space in my life. I'm in the space of being single and dating. And one of the things that I notice out in the world of dating and just out in the world in general is this resistance to say I love you. To say I love you to the person that you're sharing yourself with on every level, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, that there is this resistance to share the very word that would give meaning and alignment to your experience. There is a fear, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I want to talk to you about the words I love you and the fear that often comes with that and what that actually is. So, wow. Heartbreak for many of us has probably been one of the most devastating experiences of our lives. Heartbreak due to the loss of a love that we once had. And so what happens in that moment where we lose the love that we once shared with someone, when that is no longer available to us, very quickly, our conscious mind, without too much investigation, associates that relationships equal pain, or that men equal pain, or that the words I love you equal pain. But it's not the words I love you, and it's not the relationships, and it's not men, and it's not women. It is your own disconnection from your heart that is causing your pain. And I know that I've said this many times before, but all pain is love withdrawn. The moment you feel pain is the moment that you withhold love. And the pain that you feel in any current moment is not due to the past, to your upbringing, to your previous pains in relationship, or to any other reason you may believe, except for your inability to extend love in this present moment. It is not love that is the problem. It is the withholding of love that is creating the pain. So, yes, the challenge is to learn to love despite the challenges. Yes, the challenge is to keep our hearts open despite what is going on. Yes, the challenge is to learn to love ourselves above anything else and everyone else. And that may sound like somewhat of a selfish concept to many of you listening to this video this morning. I know when I first heard the term self-love, I didn't really even understand what it meant. And as I started to investigate it and look into it and practice self-love, I came up with resistances in what I'd been led to believe, the way I'd been raised, what had been encouraged of me as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a child, as a student, the constant messages that were bombarded to me. And one of those messages was to love others, perhaps even, not perhaps actually, to love others more than I loved myself, to put their needs before my own. And when I did that, then I could allow myself to feel love. What I learned through life is that when I do that, basically I'm putting my experience of love at the mercy of someone else. I was somewhat expecting a result externally in order to feel what I wanted internally. In many ways, you could say this is manipulation, and that's a harsh word, but essentially it is. Essentially, it's doing the things you believe you need to do to get what it is that you want to get. It is an extrinsic motivation rather than an intrinsic one. So we are all motivated by our need to feel good, by our alignment with the feeling of love. Many of us don't even know how to get this. Many of us avoid the very thing that we're looking for, even though it's right there in front of us. So I just want to say this morning, that words are powerful. That the words you attribute to an experience, the meaning you give something, becomes the emotional experience. And if you find that you're living a life disconnected from love, then perhaps just for this week, you can practice saying I love you. Just say it to yourself to start with. That might be hard enough for some of you. And if it is, anything, a pet, a photograph, a stranger, a parent, a sibling, maybe no one or nothing in particular. Maybe just practice saying the words I love you. Practice saying those words and noticing the feeling that comes up with it. If the feelings are good, then that's a good thing. Our emotions are indicators. They give us messages through our nervous system, through our experience, through our emotions, to tell us that this is a good thing. But if it doesn't feel good, then what could possibly be going on? Well, it's the meaning that you've associated with the words I love you. It's looking at what that actually means to you. And as you may have heard me say, meanings are done so unconsciously that most of the time many of us don't even know what the meanings are that we've attributed to the things that we experience in life. And so if the meaning to the very thing that you want in your life is not one that feels good, then you may have a little bit of a problem. It may be time for you to pause and investigate what is the meaning that you've given this thing that you want. And perhaps it's time to give it a new meaning. Just feeling a little thoughtful, that's all. I hope this conversation has been somewhat helpful to you. If you'd like to join my 6-week self-love project coming up in the next month, please private message me. I have almost all course modules now ready, so the landing page will be up in the next week. I hope to see you there and help you on your discovery to self-love. And as always, live consciously and filled with love. Have a beautiful day.